Hi, this is Rand Smith with System 7 Coaching and Workshops, and I'm bringing you another Inside Marketing Secret. Today we're going to talk about emotional triggers, Part 1. And emotional triggers, in a nutshell, are little known things that you can do, little triggers that you can set and tap into to be able to move people to action, to persuade them to take the action that you want them to take. Okay, let's go to emotional trigger number 1, consistency. It says, once a decision is made, the decision maker is inclined to continue to act in a way that is consistent with their previous action. And now here is the action step. If a prospect lists their home with you or hires you as a buyer's agent, it is at that very moment the ideal time to add something else for them to purchase from you. For example, when you secure a listing, immediately enroll them in your smart home buyer service or your smart buyer service. In other words, secure them as a home buyer. If you secure a home buyer and they own a home and they're going to sell it, secure them in that moment as a home seller. If you close a transaction, secure them as a future client. Then give them a certificate of $1,000 that they can redeem so that in the future, when they are in need of services that has to do with real estate, they will select you. Why? Because you've given them an ethical bribe. It's a law of consistency, and you need to know that it's true. It's an emotional trigger. It's like a law of the universe. Let's go to emotional trigger number 2. Products, service, and nature. Each product or service has its own personality and nature, and it's a special series of characteristics that can relate your product or service to a prospect. Recognize its nature and relate its characteristics to the prospect, and you will have the key to persuading your prospect. Now for the action step. Determine the main reasons why people buy your product or service, from both an emotional and a logical level. Then craft your sales presentation to bring out those reasons. What are some of the reasons your prospect would be interested in your products or services? Okay, that should be easy enough, you guys. Find out what motivates them. We all know that buyers make an emotional decision and then they justify it with logic, or they logically justify it. So find out what your service's nature is. If you're not sure what nature it is, then talk to some of your past clients. But I'm sure that you'll figure that out. Let's go to emotional trigger number 3. Prospect's nature. You have a great product or service and you've figured out the basic appeal of your product or service in both emotional and logical ways. The next step is to learn about your prospect. What makes him or her tick? What are the emotional and logical reasons that your prospect will buy your product or service? Once you know these reasons, you'll have the key to effective persuasion. And now for the action step. Talk to your prospects. Find out what is important to them about your product and service. Conduct tests using different prospect appeals and determine which one works best. I use guarantees. I offer an easy exit listing agreement. If you list with me, find I'm not doing everything I promised to do, I'll cancel the listing. I'll even refer you to my best competitor. Call your past clients. Ask them what they like best about what service you provide. Find out from them. The foundation of every business that I own is this. Find out what people want and need, then make it easy for them to get it. And I have so many agents say, but Rand, how do I know what they want and need? Here it is. Ask them. Emotional trigger number 4, objection. Boy, we all know this one, don't we? You understand the nature of your product or service. You know your prospect, and you have a great service or product. But your product or service has a flaw that would deter most of your prospects from buying and hiring you. What do? You raise the flaw or objection to the purchasing your product right up front in your ad copy or your selling approach. The action step. Determine any product or service feature that would normally be a negative for your prospect and bring this fact up early in the copy or sales presentation. Here's an example. I had a young man the other day. He said the reason he's getting plenty of listing presentations to go on, but the reason he wasn't getting the appointments or getting the listing signed was because they thought he was too young and inexperienced. So I told him to put those objections up front and tell them and take them away from the people by putting them up front in advance and saying the fact that I am new is the very reason why you should hire me. Because I'm new and maybe don't have the experience yet, I'm going to be dedicated 100% to solving and serving your needs. And because I don't have a lot of clients yet, you get 100% of my time and attention dedicated just to you. Whereas if I'd been in the business for a long time, I'd be trying to service 50, 60, 75 clients just like you or more. So I'll give you the personal attention. If I don't know the answer to a question, I'll tell you I don't know the answer, and I'll find out and get the answer back to you instantly. Okay, emotional trigger number 5, objection resolution. We just talked about it. You've raised the objection early in the copy or presentation, and now you must resolve the objection. Otherwise, you will be leaving the prospect with reinforcement on why he or she should not buy from you. The action step. Show why the objection is really minor or how you've overcome the objection, either by the product's other good features or by the fact that the bad features are insignificant when compared to the product's good features. Now, in my example on emotional trigger number 4, I just gave you an example that went through both of these, both the objection, isolating it, and the resolution of it. Okay, until next time, this is Rand Smith with System 7 Workshops, bringing you another unique and little known marketing secret. Have a great day. Bye-bye.